Holy 50th part, Batman! Hello there, and welcome back to Build with the Boys. We now have issue 50 of Hachette's Build the Batmobile Tumbler. In this one, we are building the engine body. Now, as I've said, I don't know if we're getting an engine for this one. This appears to be the jet engine. Now, the weird thing is, a jet engine doesn't really look like much. If you take it apart, inside there'd be a ton of stuff going on. But an actual jet engine itself is always just kind of like a tube. If you've ever seen one, it doesn't look like like a vehicle engine. So it's not going to look like anything intricate. It's because the body's there. But I don't know if we're getting like an engine for this car. I don't know, because if we are, I don't know where it's going to go. Which is what I'm thinking. We're not going to build an engine, because even if you do, there's no way of accessing it, because the actual vehicle itself, the genuine Tumbler, to access the vehicle, you've got to unbolt a lot of stuff to get to the engine. You've got to unbolt all kinds of panels, lift it off just to get to the actual engine, because it wasn't built for practicality. It was built to look good. So I don't know. I genuinely don't know if we're getting an engine for this or not. I don't know. But what we're going to do is we're using the tailpiece that we've already built. We're going to attach this to it and screw it together. Now, I don't know how big this is. It doesn't look massive, but I guess we'll find out. At the end of this, we'll be talking about the filming and the special effects use and the production of Superman Returns. More importantly, the cost of Superman Returns, which was the start of its problems. If you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. Helps us massively. Without further ado, let's get this one open. Let's get this one built. Okay, so this is a whopping great box for issue 50. I don't know why I was expecting it to be smaller than this, but it's a bloody big box. But these are big parts. These are a lot big. Wow, these are a lot bigger than I was expecting. Okay, that's a decent sized lump. And we've got two of them. So there's the other part. Yeah, that's big. I wasn't expecting this from the pictures. I wasn't expecting it to be this big. And some CP screws. Now, as with everything in the part world, the bigger the part, the less there is to do. So I'm expecting this to be minimal. And I'd be right. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to attach our jet nozzle tail to these parts. So let's find out exactly what we're doing. Let's get into it. Okay, so taking the part marked with the L in there, that's the left. I'm going to take this section here, making sure our supports are facing that way. We're going to lie these pegs over here and here, and it should line up. Bloody hope it does, because there's nothing I can do about it if it don't. It's very ill-fitting. That's just me being kind of crap-handed with this. Oh. Yeah, it's not the best fit. Right, let's take a look. Okay, so that's on. So this is over there. Mine's warped, right? So I had to do a lot of bending and squeezing to get that to actually to fit there. So that's not great. That didn't feel good. But it's what it is. So now that's in. We've threaded our wire straight through, so that comes out there. Next we're going to do is take the other half, and this should link to there. But if that one was warped, well, I imagine this one's bloody well going to be as well. But we'll see, won't we? But this should sit down, or it does. It's whether or not this will screw in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put in a CP screw there, and there. So I'll get one in and then look at the rest. I'll put two of the screws in just to kind of hold this together. Yeah, I wasn't happy with that fit at all. But hey, it's holding, and that's all that matters. So we're going to put another one in here. Let's get this screwed in. That's that one, and then one more, and then this one is done. Yeah, so I mean this was simple, but I really had to persuade it to attach. It did not want to. So yeah, that was a little unnerving for the bloody hole. All right, let's get that one screwed in.
Yeah, I really had to manipulate that one to get it to do what I needed it to do. So that didn't feel good. So that is that one complete. It's looking great. I mean, that's a hulking great jet engine, but it's looking lovely. But again, it was a concern. The way that went together was a concern. Now apparently that's upside down. That's the right way up. But it's together. It works. We're happy. Let's have a chat.
So that's that one done. I mean, it's a big old unit, and I mean, again, it's not. It's an odd build. This one, right? I mean, that's the best word to describe it. I wouldn't say it's a bad build. I wouldn't say it was a good build. I'd say it's an odd build. It's unusual in the way that we're building this, because every other car I've built and every other car I've seen built doesn't go together like this. It doesn't. You've typically got, you'd have a rolling chassis at this stage of a build. I mean, we're nearly halfway there. We're approaching the halfway point. You'd have a rolling chassis built. We don't have that. You'd have an engine built. We don't have that. But what we do have is things you wouldn't normally have at this stage. So the interior, the cockpit and whatnot, all being built and ready. We wouldn't normally have that. That's unusual. So it's a very odd build. I mean, this is the thing. I wouldn't say that's making it necessarily a bad thing. I think we're just kind of used to something being in a certain way, and this one isn't. This one's different to how we'd normally build something. So it's unique, put it that way. But I mean, I don't know how many more issues we can go without having bolting this thing together. I don't know. It might all come together in like the last 4 or 5. I don't know. No idea. But I'm looking forward to finding out. If you just stick around with the build instructions, thank you for stopping by. If you stick around for our bat chats, we've been talking about Superman Returns. And again, I got to stress this enough. The reason we're talking about this is because originally, this Superman, the plan was to have him interact with Nolan's Batman. That was always the plan. They were going to bring these two together. Which again is what makes Superman Returns slightly odd. So Superman Returns is being filmed in Australia. The thing is entirely filmed in Australia, all of it. They built a fairly massive set, and the idea was it was going to be part of the movie studio over there, the theme park. That never happened. I don't know why, but it didn't. But they built a lot of fairly elaborate sets. And they really went to town on this. So everybody, the production crew, everyone flew over to Australia, and they were there for a long time. So filming started in March of 2005, and it didn't finish until November of 2005. So that's a long shoot. That's a really long shoot. I mean, it's 8 months. That's long for anything, for principal photography, for what are essentially special effects movies these days. That is a long time to be spending out there, and it ain't cheap. And herein lies the problem. So the budget for Superman Returns was originally supposed to be $185 million, which by today's terms is fairly conservative. We're nearly 20 years ago. But it was $185 million. However, they went over budget. And they went over budget significantly. They went over budget to $225 million. So they dropped $225 million on Superman Returns. But I think the ultimate problem they had was they then spent another $100 million marketing Superman Returns, which I find nuts because you don't need to. Superman is Superman, right? Obviously, you need a campaign to make people aware that your movie's coming out, but Superman is Superman. It sells itself. You don't need to go on this big, massive, you just don't need to. But they did because it was also to attract sponsors. And as we said before with Batman Returns, and particularly with the Dark Knight trilogy as well, it wasn't attracting the sort of sponsors that Warner Brothers wanted. So Warner Brothers want Happy Meal toys, they do. And they're not going to touch a Christopher Nolan film for Happy Meal toys, but they were all over Superman Returns. They want breakfast cereal, they want sticker books, they want toys, they want bed sheets, they want dress-up costumes, and Superman Returns was very much geared towards providing all of that. They just massively overspent on it. They really did. I mean, one of the most insane things that I remember, and I've read up on it since, did I remember that correctly? And I have, is the S on Superman's chest cost a bloody fortune, an absolute fortune. Because it's made up of thousands of tiny S's. And they're not ruby, but they're not far off it. And the amount of time and effort and money that was spent on that S logo on his chest, you never see it, right? There's no point in that movie where it zooms in and you can see that. So why spend it? And it's almost as if they went, oh yeah, it's fine, just have that. And it's like, nobody was really checking what have we pissed this budget away on? And they spent a fortune, because the other problem is, did they spend it all on big action set pieces? No. Because there is a fairly humongous set piece that was one of the most expensive scenes of the film, is where a space shuttle is going to be launched off the back of a 737. And that cost a lot of money. To do that cost a hell of a lot of money. And they used some practical effects, some visual effects, but they built film sets as well to film it, which again, they wouldn't do these days. They'd literally CG the lot. But they built film sets to specifically film those scenes. So they went massively, massively, massively over budget. But they weren't concerned, because the belief was that this movie is going to do in excess of $500 million. That's what it's going to do. We'll make our money back. It'll be all right. However, when you've spent $325 million making something, you now need it to make at least $650 million to break even. You need it to make $750 million for it to be profitable. So yeah, I mean, it's got a mountain to climb, but it's Superman, right? So surely it can do it. Well, it didn't, did it? That was the problem. So we've had early test screenings at this point. All the test screenings are really positive. So all the early test screenings that have come back are really positive. They love the fact that it's got the kind of retro vibe of Superman Returns, of the original Superman movies, but that it's brought the special effects up to date. So there's a nostalgia to it, but at the same time, it feels modern as well, which I think is fair. I'd say that's a fair assessment of the film. So expectations are high, right? They're expecting this to outgrow Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 at this point is the highest grossing superhero movie of all time. And they're expecting this to beat Spider-Man 2's opening weekend and to beat its final box office gross. Well, did it? Well, we'll find out in the next one. We'll find out at the end of 51. Thank you for stopping by. If you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. Helps the channel massively. We love having you along for the journey. If you would like to contact us, you can contact us at buildingtheboys@outlook.com. We'd love to hear from you with anything at all. You can tell us what you're up to, what you're doing. You can show us pictures of your work. You can give us tips and advice, anything at all. We'd love to hear from you. We really do. And I do mean that. We don't just say it. We'd love to hear from you. I do get a lot of messages, so it does take me slightly longer to get back to you all these days, but I will get back to you, I promise. And we'd love to hear from you. So in a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice, and I'll see you very, very soon for more from Building the Boys and the Batmobile Tumbler. And remember, Gotham needs us. See you soon.